Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Today is 5th of March 2020. I thought as a special subject, let us just chat informally about coronavirus in light of some of the ayat of the Quran as per my understanding. First and foremost, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the power over the universe. Allah has set some rules in the universe through which the universe works. You let a thing go and it will fall down because of the gravity. So there is a universal law that Allah made for the gravity. You come close or throw yourself into fire, you get yourself burned because the fire has a property of burning and your body has the property of getting burned. So through our experience in life, we discover these rules. But often after we discover these rules, if we are not mindful of Allah, we attribute these things to the nature. Maybe in a Newtonian mechanical way of explaining the everything. So this kind of things might make someone get just be forgetful about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah comes to remind us that no, I have the mulk, I have the sovereignty, I have the power over this universe. The story of Ibrahim tells us that this fire didn't burn for that case. So similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set mechanism that through which a disease, contagious disease, can move from a person to another person through airborne disease or droplets or by touching, but so many mechanisms that we as doctors, physicians started to understand them. But we need to know that this by itself doesn't work if Allah didn't wanted it to work in that way. That's why the cure is at the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibrahim alayhi salam said this thing, وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينَ. If I get disease, it is Allah who gives me shifa. It is Allah who gives me shifa. And Islam respects this kind of laws that Allah has set in this universe, and we have to abide by it. This is the causal relationship. If this, then that. If you do this, this will happen. Because of these laws that Allah has set in our physical world or in our social interactions. And that's why we might hear two hadith that will sound they are contradictory, but they are not contradictory actually. We'll hear hadith that furra min al-majdum firaraka min al-asad. I mean, if a person has this kind of disease that can transfer easily, maybe like a tuberculosis, maybe some kind of a skin disease, Prophet asked us that escape away from him as you escape away from a lion. Also, we know in the hadith that if there is this kind of disease spreading in a community, let those who are in that community don't get out, and let those who are not in that community don't travel to that community. So this is respecting this kind of quarantine mechanism that Islam respects because of these laws that Allah has set in the mechanism of transferring of disease. So this is one set of a hadith. Another hadith we read is La adwa wa la tiyara. something like that, that there is no contagion disease, or there is no adwa, there is no transfer of disease from one person to the another person, and there is no tiyara, this kind of getting superstitious about a bird flying left or right. So by this, the Prophet ﷺ is meaning that this thing doesn't work by itself. There is a permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He has the control over those things, as it happened in Ibrahim, in the case of Ibrahim. And sometimes you will find that a virus attacked a house, like the normal influenza. 3 of them got, 2 didn't get. Why these 2 didn't get? They are just doing the same thing. Okay, so these things comes to make us be attached with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. This is number 1. We need to be attached with Allah all the time. Also, we need to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has so many soldiers in the nature. وَمَا يَعْلَمُ جُنُودَ رَبِّكَ إِلَّا هُ. We have wind, we have fire, we have this, we have that. And look at this virus, how tiny it is. We cannot see it. It is a soldier from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah punishes with this whomever He wants, those who transgress, those who oppose Allah, His Rasul, and those who persecute those who are on the right path, torture those people who are on the right path. So Allah has set in this nature so many junud, and this could be very insignificant in our eyes, but it will have fatal properties that can bring a whole civilization, a whole society, a whole globe who has sophisticated technologies and this, bring them to their knees. This is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these are just small samples before the bigger punishment that Allah has. Look what has happened to Fir'aun, for example. Tis'a ayatin bayyinat, 9 miracles, and some of them are very insignificant in our eyes. We don't take much care. Locust, this qummal, this flea type of things in your head, these small fleas, but see how fatal they became, that they immediately came to Musa, ud'u lana rabbak لَإِن كَشَفْتَ عَنَّا الرِّجْزَ لَنُؤْمِنَنَّ لَكَ. They were coming humiliated to Musa, please supplicate to your Lord so that He lifts this adab from us, because we cannot tolerate this. فَلَمَّا كَشَفْنَا عَنْهُمُ الْعَذَابَ إِذَا هُمْ يَنْكُثُونَ. When this adab was lifted, they returned back to their transgression. So what I meant is that whenever this kind of things happens, let us try to take lessons by attaching this with the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The rules that says, وَمَا نُرْسِلُ بِالْآيَاتِ إِلَّا تَخْوِيفًا. I bring this kind of signs for them to get scared and afraid and return to me, change their course and return to the right Sirat al-Mustaqim. Return to the right course. Stop persecuting the people who are on the right path, like what's happening in Uyghur, or for Myanmar in the for the Rohingya. But the problem is that when Allah sends the ayat and people, they do not just pay attention, they just attribute it and to nature and forget that Allah controls this nature. This is bad. This is very bad. Number 3, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and always ponder upon the beauty that and thank Allah because of we are adherents to Islam. by being adherent to Islam as a package, so many mechanisms we enjoy, sometimes we don't even think about it in terms of gaining material benefits in this world. I mean, the main objective of Islam is the surrender and obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Allah has a gift through the rituals of Islam that we practice on a daily life, sometimes without thinking even. We get so many benefits that sometimes through this kind of coronavirus incidences we start to realize. I mean, think about the mechanism of praying 5 times a day, and that comes with washing your hands, your feet, your face. You see, this cleansing mechanism, this hygienic practice that comes because of the ablution. On Fridays we do a whole ghusl, okay? We clean ourselves. You see, this cleanliness, at-tahuru shatrul iman, and through this water which is at-tahur, wa anzalna minas samai ma'an tahura, we just enjoy it maybe even without thinking. And this might have attributed so much things in terms of getting ourselves cleansed from those germs and staying hygiene. Look at the siyam, the fasting. It has a health dimension, although its main objective is to be near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look, when we do the transaction, our financial transaction through the Islamic banking mechanism or Islamic financial transactions, it has a good effect. So as a package, we have so many things that because this is a design, not a man-made design, a design by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And His design, He is the engineer of mankind. He is the engineer of this universe. He knows the secrets of this universe, and He has set certain rules, and these rules must be good for us. Sometimes we realize, sometimes we don't realize the hikmah behind it, the wisdom behind it. Eating pork must have so many things. Drinking alcohol must have so many harmful things. Some we have discovered, some we might have not discovered. So let's enjoy, let's thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we are taking those whole package of Islam with all its wonderful mechanisms and rituals and practices that comes with it. Number 4, the panic. Panic is killing. I mean, the panic kills. Panic meaning that the psychological status makes a person weak, and that causes chaos in a society more than the physical torment. So in a war, I think more people die out of panic than out of getting really physical pain. So at the time of distress, panic is something that Islam comes to teach us how to manage it properly. And through this kind of instability, insecurity, this kind of panic moments, the social media works magic in terms of spreading it as the fire spreads in a bush. So let's try to control this mechanism. Let's adhere to authentic source. Maybe this is World Health Organization, listen to the doctors, but let's not all turn into doctor all in a sudden and just spread whatever rumors and newses that is come to us. Islam teaches us a very nice mechanism when it says that وَإِذَا جَاءَهُمْ أَمْرٌ مِّنَ الْأَمْنِ أَوِ الْخَوْفِ أَذَاعُوا بِهِ وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ وَإِلَى أُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ. If they have returned this kind of news, instead of just spreading, أَذَاعُوا بِهِ, spreading it, just forward it in your WhatsApp, in your Facebook and this thing. Instead of it, if you resorted to ulil amr, the people of authority who have, maybe this is the president, maybe this is the an alim, a doctor, okay, whoever has the authority in that, from knowledge wise as well as on the society, return to it, resort to them. They will manage this. The panic management is very important, and Islam comes to teach us the things about it. And look at this, I mean, the mass media, they take any kind of news, breaking news, because they want more consumers, they want more subscribers, they want more people log into their websites. So they try to raise these things more and more. So this is one extreme. The other extreme, you will find so many countries, governments, they try to hide the actual numbers. Okay, so what is important is that this panic management through people who are really authentic and trustworthy. Finally, I don't have time. I wanted to end with this note that after taking all these precautions, if God forbidden, if we got this kind of disease, and let's think that this is a test from Allah. Allah tests whomever He wants, and through this disease, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expiates our sins, and we are meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether through this disease or not through disease, we are dying. So the attitude of a Muslim, the attitude of a believer, is always looking forward to meet Allah. Man ahabba liqa Allah, ahabba Allahu liqa'ahu. Whoever is looking forward to meet with Allah and loves this meeting, looking forward to it, because he is a believer, he has done good jobs in terms of practicing this religion, defending this Islam, and he has heard all this glad tidings that is awaiting for him. So he should be looking forward to liqa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whoever has that feeling, Allah also ahabba liqa'ahu. Allah also loves to meet him. This mutual love between Allah and His chosen servants. So let's not be like that society whom Allah described, the Jews, that they would like to law yu'ammaru alfa sana, they would like to stay 1,000 years. Nobody can stay that long, because they are attached to this world. Let's be attached to akhirah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.